an attempt to grow the game of football in the gigantic market of Alaska, the NFL and owners have decided to allow me to relocate every NFL team to Anchorage, where they will compete in the custom-built Snow Globe Stadium for football supremacy. Also reset the NFL with a fantasy draft, so now every team is brand new, fresh, and ready to go inside the Snow Globe. Welcome to Alaska. Welcome to the Snow Globe, everybody. My name is C4. Thank you for checking out today's video. And yeah, that is what we're doing. The NFL in an attempt to grow the game in Alaska. After they found out the last two blockbusters in Alaska shut down, they know that the millions and millions of people there have just a desire to spend their money, but nothing to spend it on. So they wanted to be the first professional sports league to break into the market. And they decided in the offseason, we're going to run a fantasy draft. Every team is going to be something special. We're going to run through a mini NFL season, and we're going to see who can win football supremacy inside the Snow Globe. With front row fans, you got polar bears, you got people watching from igloos. It is going to be absolutely sensational, and I think we're going to have a couple surprise teams emerge. Some different dynamics, some different quarterback wide receiver duos, some different pass rushing duos. Looking through the league, here are some things that I've noticed. One, Dan Campbell wouldn't allow Detroit to go unless they could just stay as the Detroit Lions, so that was the one concession we had to make. But I'm looking through all these rosters, man. The fantasy draft makes a lot more parity to the NFL than I was expecting. I was expecting there to be at least one or two super teams created. Not necessarily the case. Like, I honestly haven't got this sim to the midway point, and we can kind of start to see who is pulling ahead, because looking at these teams on paper, there is not one team that is standing out as like, well, that team's going to be ridiculous. That team's clearly going to end up winning this tournament. Every team starts to have balances. Every team has strengths and weaknesses that can be attacked, that can be thrived in these conditions inside of the Snow Globe. So let's get into the first half of the season and see how everything kind of breaks down. Actually, take back what I said about there being really a lot of parity. Not really. A lot of the teams are rather really good or really bad. The three undefeated teams are the Desperados, the Shamrocks, and the Tigers. Desperados are led by Mac Jones. They got Kareem Hunt doing the damn thing in the backfield. Chris Godwin, Kyle Pitts, Rondale Moore on offense. Defensively, Deshaun Gibson with 2 picks. He got 7.5 sacks for Aaron Donald. So Aaron Donald, AD's going to do AD-like things. Looking at the Shamrocks, they got Brandon Jones with 3 picks. 8.5 sacks. Frankie Louvu, good God. On the receiving, you got Devontae Parker, DeAndre Hopkins, Dallas Goedert. It's like pretty solid. Damian Pierce in the backfield, and Lamar Jackson slanging it. And the Tigers undefeated with Bryce Young under center. Not even playing that well. 1,500 yards, 12 touchdowns to 6 picks. Derrick Henry is running that damn thing, though. They got Jarvis Landry and Tyreek Hill, top skill position players to go along with Derrick Henry. Defensively, got Nakobe Dean, 8.5 sacks from Brian Burns. So Ben St. Juste, he's Canadian. He's used to these conditions. He could thrive in that, but very surprised to see this one of the best teams. Odd. And at the inverse of that, the two teams who have yet to win, the Blues and Riverhogs. What is making them so bad? The Blues got old Derek Carr, who has 4 touchdowns, 3 picks. Yep, that's going to line up. That checks out. David Montgomery is a running back. Renfro, like they just... When they do have Devontae Adams, him and Derek Carr reunited again. The rest of the receiving room, not amazing. They have a lot of the Raiders influence. Roquan Smith, their leading tackler. Not a lot of pressures. Secondary's not particularly good, so checks out. And then the Riverhogs with Kyler Murray. Glad knowing Kyler Murray sucks in this, because it's not like we're just embarking our main channel franchise around him. They got Miles Sanders in the backfield, Tyler Lockett, Michael Gallup, and Njoku. It's pretty weak there, so they must have built up the defense here. Nick Bolton, 54 tackles, 2 sacks. Sacks aren't great. Don't have a premier pass rusher, and they got, hey, at least you got Jalen Ramsey out there, right? Trying his best. Just for a little fun here. Who do you guys think? Let me know in the comments right now. Who do you think the original Shamrock and Monarchs are? You know, you always like to test, you know, playbooks and all this stuff in the sim. Who do you think? The Shamrocks are an AFC team. The Monarchs are an NFC team. Let me know in the comments, and we're going to go unveil who they are, because their head coaches are still the same. My prediction, Monarchs are the Cowboys. Shamrocks are the... Shamrocks would be the... I want to say Bengals? Holy, the Shamrocks are the Raiders originally. Shout out to the Raiders. And the Monarchs are the Giants. Wow, Raiders and Giants. Okay. For the top teams overall, the Shamrocks went 14-3, Monarchs 13-4, Antlers 13-4. Antlers are the Philadelphia Eagles. Golden Eagles 12-5, Tigers, Thunderbirds. So, yep, pretty in line. No team was really brutal. Like, everyone was kind of 3-5 wins, which is as expected. But, man, the Shamrocks, a.k.a. the Raiders, the Monarchs, a.k.a. the Giants, and get the Eagles there as well. I'm a little surprised, man. But maybe not. Maybe this is working as intended. Looking at the final stats here from the Snow Globe. Mac Jones, leading passer. Shocked by that. Trevor Lawrence got me most touchdowns. 40 touchdowns, 7 picks. 36-7 for Herbert. 36-4 for Patrick Mahomes. Like, no one's shocking, I guess, up there outside of Mac Jones. And even then, old McCorkle, 19 picks. Not ideal. Running the ball, Derrick Henry just does what Derrick Henry does, averaging over 100 yards a game. Nick Chubb went off. CMC, Breece Hall up there. Saquon. What do we got for touchdowns? 31. Jonathan Taylor. 31. Rush should be your MVP. No, I'd take 31, 1,400 yards, 31 touchdowns, no fumbles. I would take that every day of the week as MVP over a quarterback with 40 touchdowns, 7 picks. Maybe that's a hot take. Cortland Sutton led the league in receptions, 103, 102 for Hollywood Brown. Yards also go to Cortland Sutton. Touchdowns go to Marquise Brown. Hollywood went off. Love seeing that. No real breakouts standing out. Anyone get the no one pitched a shutout? Everyone gave up at least 1 sack here. Defensively, Roquan Smith led the league in tackles. 20 sacks for Aaron Donald, 17.5 for Tank Lawrence, 14.5 for Bosa, 14 for Von Miller. We got 9 picks from Kendall Fuller, 6 for Marlon Humphrey and J.C. Jackson. Come on, you cowards. Give Jonathan Taylor the... what? He's 6th? Hey, it's in line with the NFL, man. NFL just doesn't care about running backs. Jonathan Taylor, at worst, he should have been Trevor Lawrence, Jonathan Taylor, Patrick Mahomes. Like, that would have been my top 3 for the MVP. But 31 touchdowns, man. That is good enough. Josh McDaniels gets Coach of the Year. But, I mean, just utter disrespect here. Nothing there really standing out. Utter disrespect to Jonathan Taylor. Does win Offensive Player of the Year in the NFC. But give that man his flowers on the big stage. Give that man the MVP award. I haven't been this upset about an MVP award. Maybe more than Jalen Hurts losing. Because, I mean, Mahomes last year, yeah, is what it is. But, like, since, like, everyone J.J. Watt should have won the MVP and they just gave it to Aaron Rodgers because he's a quarterback. This is in line with that for my fury and my rage and my upsetness. It was always meant to be the 1 seed. Out of each conference, the Shamrocks handle business, beating the Desperados and the Golden Eagles to represent the AFC in the Snow Globe. The Monarchs handle the Lumberjacks and the Antlers to set up what should be an all-time classic. So it is now time for the Snow Globe Bowl. We have Anchorage Monarchs against the Anchorage Shamrocks. The Monarchs, number 3 offense in the NFL, number 6 defense in the NFL. The Shamrocks, number 8 offense in the NFL, number 1 defense. These teams have grinded, and they are the best that we have to offer. We're going to sit back, and we're going to show some highlights from the Super Bowl of what is going to be the greatest game ever played. Let's go, fellas. The Monarchs looking good. The Shamrocks looking pretty shamrocky. Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. Let's see it, baby. Look, the stadium is packed. There's heating. That's why. There's a lot of heating in there. It's a cold climate. People want the free heat. It's like when you go to watch hockey games in Florida. You're just going there for the air conditioning. This is the inverse of that. All right, I'm not smart enough to figure out how to watch 2 CPU like Mr. Hurricane does. Not smart enough to figure that out. So we're going to narrate it. We're going to watch it through this. Let's see this opening drive. It's 4th and 1. Will the Monarchs go for it? Patrick Mahomes decide to punt. I don't think I would punt it if Patrick Mahomes is my quarterback. We got Lamar Jackson, Devontae Parker. But it's another big-time performance from the defense. Gotta remember, in this matchup, Shamrock's defense against Patrick Mahomes. That is the storyline that we need to watch. And we get a big shot there. 20 yards, Mahomes to Keenan Allen. And it is now 1st and 10. Patrick Mahomes is cooking. You cannot let him get comfortable, and that is exactly what you're getting. 12-yard pass to the running back, Breece Hall. Cedric Wilson, 8 yards, getting role players. That's how you know Patrick Mahomes is a GOAT, man. That is the number 1 tell of a franchise quarterback, is you make everyone else around you better. Even if you don't have the greatest supporting cast, like Cedric Wilson's getting plays, And Mahomes caps it off, keeps it himself, gets the touchdown, and the Monarchs are on the board first. Now here comes the Shamrocks, old school smash mouth style football. Dameon Pierce is a beast. They got great defense. They got Lamar Jackson, who is just very, very difficult to scheme against. And he got a nice little shot play there, 13 yards to the veteran DeAndre Hopkins. That is going to open up the second quarter. Back-to-back passes to D-Hop. Dameon Pierce. Oh, there we go. 3rd and 6. He goes 6 yards to Mac Hollins, looking like a caveman. I love Mac Hollins, though. Mac Hollins. I saw a video of Mac Hollins. Like, he looks like the Geico caveman. Okay, that's fair to say. But Mac Hollins, I remember he was drafted in Philadelphia as like a pure special teamer, but he became kind of a fan favorite, a grinder, made some plays for the Raiders, and like I just saw a video of him warming up for the Falcons. Like, dude, he's gigantic. An absolute monster, and he helped that drive, which was capped off by a 3-yard touchdown. Dameon Pierce, we are tied at 7. Who can get the lead before the end of the first half? 3rd and 5 for Patrick Mahomes, and he moves the chains 6 yards. Durham Smythe. Get it. Bring it back. Durham Smythe. Cedric Wilson. Who are these guys Patrick Mahomes is throwing to? Doesn't matter against the number 1 defense. It's still Patrick Mahomes. Now, punting it right there is very uncharacteristic. I bet you Patrick Mahomes had a thing or two to say with the coach. 15-yard penalty against Godchild, the D tackle. Kind of moving them down the field here after the 2-minute warning. We got ourselves a 3rd and inches on midfield, and Lamar runs it for 9 yards himself. And he's taking over with the ground game here, man. Lamar, penalties. 2 costly penalties here from the Monarchs. Not how you want to see them end the first half. Lamar Jackson to Mac Hollins. Lamar Jackson to DeAndre Hopkins. And the Anchorage Shamrocks take the lead over the Anchorage Monarchs. 50 seconds. Can Patrick Mahomes get them into scoring range? At worst for a field goal. At best for an epic touchdown. They go in and right now he's working Christian Watson. I didn't know Christian Watson was even on the team. Why are you not throwing at him more? The speedster height, weight, speed mismatch. And the Monarchs going to settle for a field goal going into halftime. Second half here we go. We got Dameon Pierce cooking. Lamar to Devontae for 22. I mean, fair to say, with all respect to DeAndre Hopkins, generally speaking, it looks like the skill position spots on these teams aren't ridiculous outside of the quarterbacks. Looks like this is a very quarterback-driven Super Bowl. Big shot play. Lamar to D-Hop. 26 yards. Capped off with a touchdown. You know, Lamar Jackson loves his tight ends. Dallas Goedert, top 5 tight end in the NFL, gets the score. Now it's time for the Monarchs. What can they do? 2nd and 5. Ooh, 3rd and 5 here. Patrick Mahomes needs a play. Moves the chains himself. 8 yards. Both these quarterbacks doing it with their legs. Breece Hall getting active here. A lot of Breece Hall on this drive. Mahomes to TJ Hawkinson. Both these teams do have good tight ends. Hawkinson and Dallas Goedert. 15-yard penalty. The first costly penalty on the Shamrocks. Played a very smart game. Breece Hall brings it in for a touchdown. They go for 2 to make it a 1 score. Does not convert. Very tough to score, even in a 2-point on the Anchorage defense. Which Anchorage? The Shamrocks. 15 yards. Mac Hollins. Remember Mac Hollins? Another story, Mac Hollins story because he's on field. He's like, remember the backpack kid dance? He was like the first guy to use that as a celebration. 27 yards. Lamar to Devontae Parker. And man, Lamar Jackson just getting the better of Patrick Mahomes right now, going toe-to-toe, 2 epic quarterbacks. That is a 2nd touchdown from Lamar to Dallas Goedert, and it needs to be a perfect game from the Monarchs if they have any intentions of coming back here and winning the Snow Globe Bowl. We'll see. 1st and 10, big shot play there, 17 yards. Keenan Allen, the veteran, looking to get some form of championship before he retires, because it doesn't look like it's coming with the Chargers, unfortunately. Let's see something beautiful here. We got a 3rd and 10, and they get it. Christian Watson, height, weight, speed, personified, 17-yard touchdown pass. They go for the extra point here. That was smart play. What are the Shamrocks going to do? Lamar Jackson and company have an opportunity to ice this game with really any points on this drive. That's a no. That's been 3-4 costly penalties from the Monarchs. That is the rookie, Sidney Brown, Canadian. He should be used to the cold. Make a bonehead play like that. Everyone else should be shivering, trying to focus, even though there's heat in there. He makes that cost big, and Lamar heats up again. 4-yard touchdown pass. DeAndre Hopkins, I don't think we're going to see much here. They're not going away. Keenan Allen, 24-yard touchdown. We have a $147. The Monarchs have all 3 timeouts. A couple first downs here, though, from the Shamrocks, and we're going to have our first Snow Globe champion. 3rd and 2. This is play the game. And it is 4th and 2. They get the stop. They force the punt. And there's a minute 5 for Patrick Mahomes to make some history. And doesn't help. He's starting down a 4th and 10. And he gets 6. Checked out, man. How are you checking it down in that situation there? That is tough. And when every team gets relocated to Anchorage, Alaska to help grow the game, after a full season, after a fantasy draft, the 2 top teams, the one that stands above the rest is the Shamrocks, led by Lamar Jackson, DeAndre Hopkins, Dallas Goedert, and a #1 defense in the tournament. That is epic. Congratulations, Lamar. May that, now that all these guys are going to gather stuff, return to the original 32 teams once the NFL season begins. Still something you could take, man. It's still like, you view this. This would be like if the NFL had like a Champions League, or the NFL had, everyone went to their nations for like the CONCACAF Gold Cup and the Euros. Like, this is like that little mini thing. It's not that thing, but it's a thing. And congratulations to Lamar Jackson. So if you guys like this video, let me know what you think about it in the comments. Obviously, I think, in a perfect world, I would have been able to figure out how to just watch it. Couldn't figure that out. Maybe it's something to do with the fact that I control all 32 franchises. I thought I could figure it, but I couldn't figure it out. But if you guys want to see any other relocation-style videos, let me know. We could do maybe more of a long form, like relocate all the teams, do a fantasy draft, and maybe follow a couple seasons or something like that. If that's something cool, or if you have any other suggestions, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. If it's your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Very much trying to make a go of it here in Madden 24. And we had like the analytics, it was like over 50% of the people that watch my content aren't subscribed. If we can get 10% of that to shift, that's like 10, 15,000 subscribers. That would be absolutely incredible. Likes, comments go a long way with the YouTube robot. Only if you enjoyed it, though. And that'll do it for me today, guys. I'll see you back here tomorrow. I don't know if tomorrow's going to be Cardinals franchise or a rebuild. Either way, it'll be something good. And I'll see you then. Until then, it's your boy C4. Say peace out. Love ya. Have a good one.